Here are 3 things you'll be unsurprised to learn about me. 1. I love My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. 2. I love American football. 3. The crossover between Friendship is Magic and football is minimal. So when I found this article a while back comparing the 10 teams in college football's Big 12 conference to MLP characters, you bet your sweet apple flank and flank I was hyped. By the way, quick tangent, there's 10 teams in the Big 12 and 12 teams in the Big 10. Try figuring that shit out. At least the Pac-10 had the decency to change their name to the Pac-12 when they added Colorado and Utah, but still. Anyway, if you don't mind, I'd like to do a quick dramatic reading of that article. I realize most of you aren't as big of football fans as I am, but I don't think this article will require that much knowledge of football to understand the gist of it. Plus, well, I just want to do this for me. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So, without further ado, let's get this thing started. By the way, this comes from TCU's Sports Blog Nation website and is written by a contributor by the name of Hawk-Eyed Frog. If you've frequented other college sports blogs, you'll doubtlessly come across that prince of off-season content, the comparing teams in your conference to characters from your favorite television show. Wanting to get in on the fun, I sprung into action with a Game of Thrones character list, only to find that our friends at Wide Right and Natty Light and Burnt Orange Nation had both already come up with their own Game of Thrones conference character list. Rather than crank out another list into the oversaturated Game of Thrones comparison market, I decided to pick another show. The issue facing me, however, is that I don't really watch much TV, and the shows I do watch would be problematic for list making. I'm sure I can make an argument for why Iowa State would be the Robin Williams guest character from Law & Order SVU. He relies entirely on outthinking and outbluffing the Justice Department. But the thought at the back of my mind is still, yeah, but he also had some girl get molested, which is not something I'd wish associated with our friends in Ames. The other shows that I watch with regularity are old Ninja Warrior episodes and the strangely fascinating Chinese dating show, If You Are the One. But I don't think that an analysis of why Oklahoma is girl number 13 who is always picked as the contestant's favorite at the beginning of the show, only to always turn her light off in the middle of the show, just like perpetual preseason top 5 OU dropping 2 games a season and or blowing it in their bowl game, am I right? Would really captivate the readers. That's pretty much all the TV I know well enough to list, with the exception of My Little Pony. As a frequent babysitter, I'm exposed to a lot of kids shows, and the new My Little Pony show has been by far the most enjoyable children's TV show that comes on here. Additionally, the fact that it's my girlfriend's niece's favorite, along with Winnie the Pooh, means that I've seen all the episodes several times, and My Little Pony is riding a huge high of internet popularity, which means it'll be easy to find images for this post. It's perfect! Disclaimer, this post contains spoilers for all 3 seasons of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't read on! Twilight Sparkle is the TCU Horned Frogs. Twilight Sparkle comes to Ponyville, the Big 12, to start the series, only to be met with difficulties when Nightmare Moon attacks and destroys the elements of harmony, our offensive weapons and defensive depth chart. Twilight Sparkle hopes to enjoy a reign as princess, but will have to work to put aside some Casey Pakal-like mental issues to achieve it. The time to prove that TCU has what it takes to be a top-tier program in the Big 12 is now, though, as once you get locked into the role of a mid-tier Big 12 program, it's a very hard label to shake. In other words,
what is sticking?
The most TCU pony moment? TCU's reaction on being invited into the Big 12. The other ponies are the Mountain West teams. The great and powerful Trixie is the Baylor Bears. A whole lot of flash and explosions and a giant sense of self-worth. The great and powerful Trixie is Twilight Sparkle's nemesis and was responsible for temporarily banishing Twilight Sparkle from Ponyville to the whack, only for Twilight to come back more powerful than ever and humiliate Trixie. Trixie knows a large number of offensive tricks, but is lacking on the defensive side of things, which prevents her from achieving true greatness. Much like Trixie, Baylor kicked up a huge fuss claiming great deeds in beating an Ursa Major, number 1 Kansas State, but nobody living has ever seen a time when Trixie was the most powerful unicorn in Ponyville, much less all of Equestria. Most Baylor pony moment? Trixie hates wheels almost as much as Baylor hates dancing. Princess Celestia is the Texas Longhorns. There's no debate about who the most important pony in Equestria is. Princess Celestia rules over the land with an iron hoof and would throw the entire realm into chaos if she decided to leave it behind for another. Celestia is perfectly content ruling over her own kingdom rather than venture into other realms, which benefits everyone under her rule, even if some of her subjects do resent her for it. Celestia is always venerated as one of the most powerful beings in the world. But when it comes down to actual showdowns, it's been a long time, 2005, since she's actually shown all the power that you'd expect, and has received beatings from both Discord and the Changeling Queen since the last time she's shown some real power, 09. Still, every time she comes on the screen, you're expecting something great until she disappoints again. Most Texas Pony moment? How Longhorn fans actually view their program. Nightmare Moon / Princess Luna is the Kansas State Wildcats. Princess Luna lay dormant for years and years as the land of Equestria went on without even remembering she existed, much like Kansas State in the pre-Bill Snyder years. Then the stars aided in her escape and she emerged as the evil Nightmare Moon, using dark magic to banish the more powerful Celestia, over and over in the case of K-State and Texas, to claim ownership over the conference. Then Nightmare Moon was defeated, Bill Snyder retired, and Luna came back much smaller in Ron Prince form. These days Luna has regained some of her old power and is looking much more imposing, and capable of ruling over the other ponies of the conference from time to time. But there is still reason to doubt that she'll be top mare for any extended period of time. Most Kansas State pony moment? Kansas's actual reaction to Bill Snyder's return.
It is you. Oh, Nightmare Moon. Nightmare Moon?
Queen Chrysalis is the Oklahoma Sooners. Queen of a race of insect-like monsters, Chrysalis takes on the form of a princess that is known and loved throughout Equestria, and uses the realm's own power against it, much like how Oklahoma comes into Texas and steals off north of the Red River with some of the best recruits. Without this power, Chrysalis would be weak, as Oklahoma doesn't produce the love, energy, or talented players that she needs to achieve great power. Nothing gives the Changeling Queen a rush quite like humiliating Celestia, though, and she certainly delivers on that desire more often than not. Most Oklahoma pony moment?
I can protect my subjects from you!
Shining Armor is the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Shining Armor is a capable pony, probably the most capable male pony on the show. Okie State would have been a girl like the rest of them, but Mike Gundy ranted about being a man once again, and I didn't have the patience to argue the point.
I'm a man! I'm 40!
But despite all that capability, he has a problem. The Changeling Queen absolutely owns him. He tries to fight back, and on occasion is able to repel her, but by and large, the Queen dominated his life, while Chrysalis is actually a lot more focused on overthrowing Celestia. Finally, after the Queen was expelled, and Shining Armor is looking like he could be the one to defeat the darkness, SEC domination, he gets blocked out from even having a chance to help. Most Oklahoma State pony moment? Pinkie Pie is the Iowa State Cyclones. Quick pause. Cyclones? Coolest team name in sports. Why don't more teams have that nickname? Nobody takes Pinkie Pie seriously. She's hyperactive, isn't the most physically imposing pony, and her modest upbringing on a farm makes ponies smile when they see her coming into town. Still, nobody loves pulling pranks quite like Pinkie Pie, and the one she played on Oklahoma State was an all-timer. Iowa State is everyone's second favorite Big 12 team, and everyone is usually happy when the Cyclones are coming to town, but about once a year, the Pinkie Pie in Iowa State kicks up and pranks the hell out of some unsuspecting team. Everyone in the Big 12 should always be prepared for a massive Pinkie Pie swarm when you least expect it. Most Iowa State pony moment? You're just sitting there enjoying your season, minding your own business, and then suddenly, Iowa State! Rainbow Dash is the Texas Tech Red Raiders. After transitioning from Tommy Tuberville to the bro-tastic Cliff Kingsbury, Texas Tech is definitely of the opinion that they are at least 20% cooler, but the parallels run deeper than that. Rainbow Dash is one of the best high flyers around, dropping sonic rain booms on poor folks left and right, but Dash has a bit of a problem with success. Feeling a bit too good about themselves a bit too fast, both Dash and Tech have a habit of dropping the ball right after a big win. Remember the Oklahoma game after Tech upset number 1 Texas in Lubbock? Or the beatdowns at the hands of K-State and Oklahoma State after thumping number 5 West Virginia? Nothing ruins Tech's good time quite like, well, actually doing something great. Most Tech pony moment?
Easy peasy. My game is officially back on. If only some pony were here to pat me on the back.
Discord is the West Virginia Mountaineers. Discord is an amalgamation of many different kinds of animals that don't really fit in quite perfectly together, much like West Virginia in the very central United States-centric Big 12 conference. Still, Discord has some incredibly powerful magic which can turn all of Ponyville on its head when he's on his game. And he was quite the imposing physical specimen in the early part of his 2-part special. However, much like West Virginia, his utter disregard for defending himself resulted in him getting blasted harder than he was expecting. Discord has now lost a good deal of his powers, and the other ponies of the realm are trying to rehabilitate him into being a productive member of society. But you can never tell when he might drop a little chaos on ya. Most West Virginia pony moment? Disregard defense, let 'em blast ya. And finally, Fluttershy is the Kansas Jayhawks. Fluttershy is a very nice pony, but one that has very different priorities to all the other ponies in town. Fluttershy loves the little animals of the world and hates direct confrontation, and football is a game of nothing but direct confrontation. As a result, Fluttershy, much like Kansas fans, has very little interest in football, or violence of any kind. Still, she tries her best and was downright assertive at one point, but now she's just waiting out the adventures every other pony is on and focusing her attention on her animal friends, who will dominate the court come basketball season. Most Kansas pony moment? Trying to teach Kansas fans how to cheer at football games.
Yay.
Thank goodness football season is already underway. By the way, this is definitely one of those times where you are going to want to check out the comments of this article. They aren't particularly hateful, everybody is just confused as all hell. So go check it out. I'll leave a link to the article down in the description. Now that I got all that out of my system, next time, ponies! Probably. See you later.